Hello everyone. How are you doing today? Good morning, good evening, whatever you may be. Pardon me for the confusion in my Discord announcements. I thought I changed it, but I think I just forgot to save my changes. We are back for feedback. We are back for feed. We're back. Back in it, baby. No, rip. Our boys at work. Kelly B is number 1. Mr. King. He has 25 XP. Amazing. Yo, yo, yo. Alright, I mean, I guess I shouldn't hold this up too long. Grinding the Kyo Pass, that's crazy. That's wild. Wrong tab. Here we go. Starting off with a haze demo. We don't have a lot of demos today, so maybe some more will roll in as we go through. But right now it's kind of skinny. So if you all want to send me a couple extra things, go for it. All right. BH red blue green lights haze flip no base 0 won't work. So I'm building a new PC. Also have a really cool collab upcoming that you want to hear. I bet. I mean, yeah, it's definitely missing the whole baseline, but the vibe is here, though. Nice. Big phaser. Oh, I love that. Big fan of that. I like the reverse stuff as well. I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to put the drops into perspective without the whole mix in there. But breaks are cool. I like this. A transition can still come at the end of. You just have something there, I think. Even if it's like a single like resonance that just goes. And in fact, something metally might actually work there to give that effect of silence without having actual silence. And here I think it's just like you can really hear that the kick, it feels like a sample and not played, which again maybe with the bass and all the serum stuff will feel different, but I do wonder if you can layer some of those kicks or send them in there differently, so it feels a little less like the same sample played 70 to 100 times in a row. I also think for this, you either need to do more panning automation or have more accents, because I think it feels quite monotonous through this, which again, maybe the bass line will change. When the bass is there, maybe there'll be enough movement that you won't notice it. But everything feels a bit static in terms of how it's placed, which for this type of section I feel like is a shame. Because you kind of want that feeling of like these textures moving around and like enjoying the space and freedom that they have. Thank you, iLock. So yeah, I would see if you can just have things pan or move around, not crazily, but like 10-20% in the space that they already are, in the distance and stereo imaging that they already are, to give a little bit more of this feeling like things are moving and shifting and it's building. You can even have the automation get greater in magnitude as you go through. There'll be vocal chops will sound fire with bass. Yeah, definitely will. W. Alright, next up. Rund. Broken Woman Song. Oh, you don't know my scars, but you is not who we are, who we are. Los caballos son caballos. But please do hard feedback. Hard feedback. Okay. Good song. Nice try. When was the last time I heard this vocal? Holy. These reverses are sick, by the way. Like, that is so cool. What a nice sound. Chop is great, too. Okay. Overall, I think it's a solid start for a tune. I'd say, one, if you're going to use this vocal, I don't know if you know how to use Melodyne or New Tone, but it really desperately needs a different melody. One, because we've heard this particular vocal too many times, and so it's kind of been used and abused. But you can refresh the same vocal by making a new melody in it. Or it doesn't even have to be crazy different, but it needs to be different somehow. And also the melody doesn't really work with the song. Like, it feels kind of awkward. Like, I think you could literally just write a melody and then hopefully retune this melody to that, and it will or this vocal to that melody, and it'll sound way better, in my opinion. Next up, I think the rhythm of the chords in this first drop is kind of weird. It's not really bouncy or exciting to me, and so I would wonder if you shift it like around in terms of beats, in terms of where the chords start, if you might find a more interesting rhythm if you just move it around a little bit, and see if you just start the notes a little later, like, you know, a beat later or 2 beats later, does it like something that has like a little bit of pep to it, because right now it just feels like and it's missing a bit of that groove swing or syncopation or something. And I think part of it is just where it's landing in relation to the drums. So give that a go, and if not, maybe try just shortening up some of the notes. Like, even though that's kind of similar to what you're doing, it feels different because you shorten up some of the notes. Or make one really long, and then it again feels a little different. You might find something more exciting. Next up, for the side bit, I love this. I love the reverses in here. They're super good. This super good. You've got these reverses with massive amounts of sub. That's great. Just make sure your sub bass is also equally as loud, because it feels a little weird when you have a bass and then a filler sound or like a sweetener sound comes in and it has more sub than your main bass. It's fine if they combine together and you all of a sudden have a lot of bass, but it just feels like we just need to me, that's what the tune needs. Just boost up the sub a little bit. Probably also add some saturation to the sub to give it a little bit more of those upper harmonics. Not a lot, but like 15% of the right kind of saturation will already make a difference in terms of just getting it crispier, and meaning that you don't have to actually push the 50 hertz frequency as far and like completely destroy the mix in order to get the accentuation of the sub. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Otherwise, solid tune. I like this. Maybe I don't love the chord progression, but that's my personal taste. Eyes here. What's up, Dirty Octopus? Welcome to the gang. Double check if you submitted, because I don't see your submission in here, my dude. It's missing. It ain't here. Alright, next up, Kelly B. There's a Kelly B in the house. Made this pretty quickly, so it's still a work in progress, but I like the feel of this track so far. Any feedback would be superb. Superb. Exceptional. Well, now we really gotta go hard. Vocal chop is already really cool. Simple but effective. Cool. I mean, the fundamentals of this song, like in terms of like the sound design and like the rhythms and everything, is fine. I think your turnaround should be way weirder and cooler for this song, because it's you're kind of just phoning it in here a little bit. I think you have room to do like a really cool melodic switch in this fill and give it a little bit more texture and world building for the song. Yeah, like this is fine, but the real struggle is just extending it past this drop, I think. I love this. Can we get this vocal is really cool, and I would see if you can even work that vocal as like a granular pad or do something with it here, because this is solid. Or something else needs to be happening here. I think like it can't just be this dong dong da dong dong. I like it when it starts here, but it feels like this is too short for this drop. Not enough tension and investment has been built in me yet to really enjoy it. Nice texture as always. True. Bro, I was drunk. I forgot. I uploaded on SoundCloud but forgot to submit. Fucking real. Gotcha for sure. Bet. Feedback? No problem, mate. I'm glad you're getting something out of it. I also like the dong dong. This I don't know what it sounds like. An Asian instrument of some kind. Lean into that. Like definitely lean into those vibes. See if you can't create something that has really distinct cultural influence from wherever you've gotten that sound from. Like expand on that. See how you can make this an even greater fusion of drum and bass and whatever options you have from that sound that already exist. Sometimes I look at nature and envy its tranquility. Yeah, then you watch the Discovery Channel and you're like, whoa, nature is kind of demonic sometimes. Massif. Just massif. Alright, let's hear what exactly is so massif. What the fuck is going on here? Follow more Liar and Others on SoundCloud. Nice. The chord progression's really great. Cool. I've got a couple of notes. Okay, one, I love the vibe of this. I like what you're going for, and I think I understand enough of it to give you a couple of really good pointers. So one, intro, I like this. First thing is this bell is super static, and in the sense that like you're kind of doing two things that are going in opposite directions at the same time in terms of how these are processed, where you have really outside sound, open, ambient, field recording style, and then you have this direct recording of a boom, 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 and I think it would be so much better for the vibe if you kept the exact same sound, but instead you just played it out of a car speaker, recorded that, literally the exact same recording, recorded it, put it in your track, and then used that. Because what's going to happen is your recording is naturally going to have its own noise floor in it, and you'll have some affecting already going on. You'll have that natural geometry of the recording location actually embedded in the recording, which will make the moment feel so much more real because it is. The other thing you could also just do is like slap an RC20 on it, fiddle around with a bunch of settings. I would still do this after with the recording because you have so much room and bandwidth, and it feels like this sound is too static. I feel the same way about the noise floor. It's good. It's the right sounds, but I think it needs some extra tape or vinyl crackles. You could even go for like CD style little bits of like glitching and stuff. Not crazy, but just like, you know, something that's more like camcordery. What you really want is like, I think here, like some extra crackles and pops that are automated, or tape sound that's automated and like distorted a little bit, so that you actually get unique instances of noise that give us something interesting to appreciate. It doesn't have to be crazy, but it just needs to consistently have a little bit of stuff here that's like tickling your ears, where you're like, oh, okay, this is different and that's cool, and oh, like there's like little bits of deeper ear candy. And I think here I really want to hear the depth, and I think another thing you can do is use the stereo image way more. Maybe not for here, but maybe here. Yes, it's wide. I think your bass is actually too wide, which is making the stereo image on the top end of the track not feel as expansive. But I think you probably need more bits of noise, and also to use the stereo image in a more deliberate way, because the feeling I'm getting for this, and based on the title as well, is you want to have that like natural world expansiveness. And for that type of thing, you need to use the stereo image to create that overwhelming feeling of scale, that this thing just keeps going forever. And you don't actually need to do infinite amount of detail. You just, I think, have room to go further in detail with this track the way it is right now, or at least for the segment, certainly, and just push the resolution of detail closer to the point where it's kind of, most people would not be able to distinguish if you did any more than that. You're kind of looking for that line after which nobody else is going to notice, and nobody else is going to even be interested. But the fact that it's there, you will feel, and you'll feel that detail, and it will make the song so repeatable, which I think for this type of tune is exactly what you want. Just reverb 100 wet, small size, small decay, organic texture. That's, for me, too rudimentary. Like, yes, it's a good strategy, and it works when you don't have time to do anything deeper, but it's, especially if you're using a digital reverb, like if you're using an analog reverb, I would agree with you maybe, but calling it organic texture is underselling how actually deep organic stuff sounds. But like, yeah, a small reverb on 100% wet is, especially if you're using a convolution reverb, is a way you can go from, combined with an actual then digital reverb layered on top of that, is a way you can go from 0 texture to 50 or 60%. But I don't think it's going to help you get to 80 or 90% of that feeling of real texture, of that organic depth. You need to use other tools, EQ, manipulating with noise, basically spectral blurring. Yeah, but you don't want to blur the sound, because sounds in real life aren't just blurred. They actually have very distinct properties that come from the fact that, you know, even my voice right now has a lot of individual, very unique things that are particular. It's not blurred. It's not some like abstract thing because it's not repeatable. It's like my voice is consistently hitting this wall behind my desk and this wall over here behind my desk, and it's hitting this paper lantern, and it has all of these small little details that are contributing to the fact that my voice sounds real. This is also why it's so difficult to get AI voices to sound really real, because it's difficult to reproduce out of complete noise. Even if you have highly trained noise, the depth that you get from being in one place in one time with one complex situation, which is why the fastest way to do what I mentioned at the beginning with that car bell, that ding, ding, is literally just play it in your car and record it, and you get everything. And literally, if you record it on your phone, it will even sell it probably more, because the mic in your phone is not that great. It's going to impart its own little artifacts and weird shit onto the sample, which is going to make it more interesting. It's going to make it more unique. Or, you know, like, bro, record it on like your Nintendo DS or whatever. Like, whatever you have to do it. And if you don't want to do it, whatever. That's just my thoughts. And I'm assuming that's what you came here for. Alright, next up, Mr. Dirty Octopus. Got any Dirty Octopus lemonade? We got lyrics as well. Let's go.
2, 3, 4. We can talk about it like nothing happened. Remember how we used to sell lemonade on the main road?
This sounds like the same direction that Discontent is going. Like, obviously not, but like...
We started to grow older. This is what we wanted when we were young.
The electronica, yeah, true.
And when we start to get older, nothing's really better than we were young.
Ooh, love that. Super cool. This is so different. This is so different. Doctronica. It's so different to what you normally send us, which is like... I really like this. I would say 1, I think you're... You have a guitar in here. Let this guitar be closer, because I think it would be nice, especially for this segment, is give us that close acoustic campfire story type of feeling. Let us get a little bit close to you in the sense of you're playing us this acoustic guitar. You're sharing this important and vulnerable thing with us, and we want to be close to you for that, because it will make the way it comes across so much more deep. Because you have this, I would leave the piano maybe a little bit further behind and just bring the guitar up. Let it. Because then we're going to go here anyway, where we can then drag us back into this more dancey, in-between space. Yeah, I mean, I like this overall. I mean, some of the notes are going off pitch, but there's even something charming about that. You could theoretically tune those. Melodyne would probably be the way to go for this tune. But even an auto tune would be nice to just like just bring it in from the outer edges so that it's not spending too much time off note. But if you didn't want to, then don't. Like, you don't have to. But I think it's easier to get away with it on like your dub vocals, for example, where like, or your doubles, where it's kind of harder to hear it in the crowd. But I like the crowdy doubled vocal stuff. It kind of feels like we're in your head. Which I very much dig. Okay, let me read chat. Electronica. I'm a big Folktronica head now. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Mucho gucho. Let me check if there are more submissions. There are not. I don't know if there's anything else I have to say to this. Cause I feel like the mix is still a little bit muddy in the sense that like, there's a lot of stuff that feels like it's just on top of each other. So you can't hear all the elements, but with a little bit of like tasteful saturation in certain places and like EQing to bring out some of the clarity in like your piano, for example. Otherwise, super cool. I dig it. Alright, I'm gonna check one last time if we got any other submissions. If we didn't, then... Oh, Walker sent in one. Literally right now. Crazy. 22 hesitation. Also, Walker, isn't it like late as fuck right now? You're staying up late to send me music. This is a cool photo. I really like this. Alright, let's go. Let's go. I'm expecting a nice big juicy sidechain here. I dig this. Yes. Wow. Wow. Oh. Mega. Oh man, I love this, by the way. And like just this, the way this builds up, you really feel this like tension and excitement. And I like that we break in. I would say that the high end though on the transients is quite high, so maybe just try playing around with the start level of the pluck so that it's not quite so sharp at the very beginning, because it really just feels like we're hitting the whole 20k bandwidth or like hertz at the very start for the first like 40 milliseconds, and then it disappears because the filter kicks in, or like the filter envelope kicks in, and you may just want to take it down from like 20k to like 12k, which won't feel quite so clicky at the beginning. Which, because it's so clicky at the transient, makes the sound feel less bright than it should do. The other thing is I love we go here into the... But here I think this lead actually needs to be brighter, so it needs more high end to match. And could even be a little more saturated or distorted, because it feels a bit too, I don't know, like clean and withheld right now. So a bit more distortion on the lead could really help just make it hit. But the pattern of everything is excellent. And you've kind of set up the whole arrangement to work around this flourishing, loads of notes melody, which I think is super exciting. I think you could have a bigger setup for this moment. It feels a little underplayed for us to be going now into like 4/4 kick. Like 4 on the floor kick, sorry. So maybe just do a bit more of like a longer sweep up here. Even some silence here could work really good as like a... And like have like a breath or something that feels like it cuts through. You really want to create this moment that you can't ignore, you can't look away from, you can't be distracted from, especially going into this 4/4 thing. Like imagine if here it just, you hear that, and then suddenly all the other sounds cut away, and then we go into... That would make this feel even more intense and exciting than I think it already is. Add one more bar of fill. Yep. 5-beat fill and Despacito. Yeah, I agree. You can make the fill a little bit longer, or even just do this a little bit earlier and then have that silence. That is my suggestion. Otherwise, I really like this. Add inhale sample. Yes. This, I don't know why, it just makes me think of Cardi, which is a shame, but... I think of his time. Brain rot got to me. But I love this. I really can't wait to hear the full version of this. And thank you for sending us in so short notice. So late. Alright, with that being said, I think now we're not done, because Dirty Octopus sent us another one. Useramus Eid. This is cool. I would say mostly my only thing here is like the mix feels like it's very much focused too much on these like boomier frequencies. It's like of the bass. And I'd really like the top end stuff to be pushed forward a little more, to be a little more present, to have all of this like melodic E stuff, the crunchy 3K and 10K frequencies made a bit louder so that it feels in your face. Because right now somehow it feels far away. But like obviously sub is like nice. I just push the clarity of the main like melodic elements a little more, like the crunchy elements. And the piano, I feel like it really needs more high end to like cut through this mix. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just feels like it's kind of sandwiched too much in between everything else. But I like the concept of it. It definitely has got something to it. Never thought of doing that, but that's a good idea. I don't know what you're referring to, but sounds like it was helpful. Whatever it was. So, yeah. Thank you guys for coming out to the stream. I am gonna go find something cold to put in my mouth because I am hot as hell. It's still boiling here. It's bearable, but still pretty hot, guys. Yeah, and as far as I know, I don't have anything next week that should stop me from streaming. So, Kyukan's so hot. The temperature in my body is unbearable, mate. It is unhinged. Yeah, hopefully next week, and I will adjust me 6 accordingly. He says I might still be wrong next week. Anyway, I'll see you guys around. Goodbye.